All right, so let's open this up. And this came in about like less than a week. I think I ordered this earlier this week. Struggling with this tape. This is very heavy duty tape here. Or just weak scissors. Okay, let's take out the packing slip. Now we'll just put the stuff out because the box will not fit. Okay, so this is probably all of the books and things. And then this is probably the curriculum. And I apologize for noise in the background. We have some baking going on. Okay, so the reason I got this was because of the books that it has. And I've been using a lot more Moving Beyond the Page curriculum lately. So I feel like I've gotten more comfortable with the format. So we have A Raisin in the Sun, which was also made into a movie, so you could do a fun tie-in with that. There's the back of that. We have Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, which is a great book if you haven't read it. It's lots of interesting like anthropological type stuff. Ender's Game, which I think is also a movie, and it's a dystopian novel. Romeo and Juliet, and this is a particular version which has the line-by-line definitions and commentary, so I really like this format. I've seen these a lot at libraries if you're ever interested in checking those out. Lord of the Flies, with an afterword by Lois Lowry. That's the author of The Giver. A Long Way Gone. I think we actually bought this as a summer reading book as well, so that's interesting. And we have 100 Best Loved Poems. There's the back of that. And then this is a grammar book. Let's just look at this for a second. So this is like, it kind of reminds me of English Grammar Recitation, honestly, which is by Memoria Press. So I think these parts of this book are assigned. Then we have The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. And we have I Am Malala. So there is a young reader's version of this, which we have had before in our house. But this is the original, I'm pretty sure. Her actual memoir. I'm going to zoom out for a sec so you can see what's going on. With the baking, and we have, so this is the grammar workbook. So let's see. Determine the letter of the word that is spelled correctly. So here we have, for example, Gail's buoyant personality is one of her strongest attributes. Okay, but this is cool. And it has the answers on the bottom. So honor system. Let's get rid of that bubble wrap. So these are the guides. So there's one per book. So, and I'll show you the back first. So it has, as with the other books, for semester 1, semester 2, and it looks like there's about 5 units in the first semester and then 4 in the second semester. This is the excuse me, Lord of the Flies. Let's just go to, this is semester 1 does it say concept 1? Unit 1? So interesting. So you have your yearly schedule here, and it tells you about how many weeks to do per unit, so that's helpful for pacing. And then it has different holidays and things that you can put in. Oh, your start date and your end date. And then I'm kind of just looking through this, that's why I'm not talking. So here's the introduction to the unit. You'll be reading the novel and contemplate human nature in the face of unknown, harsh, or threatening circumstances. As you read the novel, you will study Golding's use of several literary elements, including setting, theme, characterization, archetypes, imagery, irony, and tone. This unit also covers dependent and independent clauses, types of phrases, and the characteristics of film adaptations. In the final lesson, you will develop a thesis and outline and then write a literary analysis. So that is exactly what I was looking for. Interesting. I'm just going to look through this first. It's kind of interesting. I'm noticing that the font is bigger in this one. And then it also talks about utopia, which she read last year, so that's cool. How to recognize a dystopia, homework. So this is reading comprehension. Just looking at this page, comparing with other dystopian books you've read. Oh, this is really cool. I really like this. We're just going to look through the first lesson because I think this is probably in the sample, just to show you the variation. And so this is obviously written directly to the student. So one thing that I'm noticing is, like, I'm used to these parent formats where it has like everything, then this, then that, then that, then that. So I think one thing I'm gonna do is focus on breaking this up further. So I'm either gonna print out, they have the lesson plans by day you can print out for your student, or just mark off, okay, this is just only do this, because if you look at it, just seems kind of overwhelming. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so basically it's the same format as any other literary unit from Moving Beyond the Page. You've got your reading, then you have reading comprehension, then you have an activity. So, okay, so that's enough of Lord of the Flies. Very interesting. Okay, then next we have short stories, semester 1, unit 2. Let's just see where those are from for a second. Did I pull out a short stories book? I don't remember that I did. Oh, okay, so that's actually in Moving Beyond the Page. Okay, so I didn't know that, so that's kind of interesting. There's actually assigned short stories that are not from the books, that are through Moving Beyond the Page. Then we have poetry, semester 1, unit 4. So where's unit 3? Semester 1, unit 3, grammar. So this is what you cover in this unit. And it says this is a 2-week long thing. Here's a unit review sheet. And let's just look at this. And so it says that the assigned materials are from the only grammar and style workbook you'll ever need. Okay. I'm just going to look at the first activity sheets of this. Okay. Okay, so it's basically just assigning everything from that workbook. Looks like. And then we have pronouns. Okay, and then this is all from part 1. So, looks very grammar intensive, which is good to do in a small chunk. Okay, that's unit 3. Unit 4, poetry. Let's just look at this for a second. Okay, so here's the units that you cover for this. Okay. Oh, and you cover the crossover in this unit. It's poetry. Then we have, this is still semester 1, unit 5, nonfiction. So this is going to be oh good, so you've got I Am Malala and A Long Way Gone in the same unit, so that's interesting. Just look at the first, so you again have reading comprehension questions, and then you have the assignment, and then you're on lesson 2. Interesting. Okay, so that's semester 1. Now we're on semester 2, unit 1, Ender's Game. Just look at the first assignment for that. So this is what it's the overview, and then you see required books, Ender's Game, and Lord of the Flies. So those are covered at the same time. I think we just did a unit on that, right? Am I forgetting? Oh yeah, so you again are reviewing it. You're probably contrasting if I had to guess. Okay, so there's reading comprehension questions, and then you have an assignment, 2 assignments. Very cool. Okay, Ender's Game. Then we have informational text. This is unit 3. Where's unit 2? Unit 2, grammar part 2. So those are kind of close together. I might split those farther apart because it just feels kind of boring to have so much grammar close together. And obviously you could like skip some of these units if you wanted to, but I thought that there was a good amount of everything kind of. Oh, this is good. Editing exercise. Cool. And then capitalization. So that's grammar part 2. Then we have informational texts. Let's take a look at that first unit. And we have Long Way Gone. Is that included in here? I don't remember. I think that was the one about, yeah, okay, that's the one about the brothers, and then Outliers. So this is optional. So again, we're probably going to be comparing things. So reading Outliers. There's watching a TED Talk by Malcolm Gladwell. And then after that, you have an informational text breakdown assignment, and then you're on the next lesson. So let's check how long this one is, because the actual lessons are shorter. That's kind of interesting. Oh, so this is 5.5 weeks. So it looks like the lessons are, the individual lessons are shorter, but there's more of them. So that's kind of interesting how in the novel-based ones, they're longer lessons, but they're shorter units. And then the last one is drama. Let's take a look through that. This one is 5.5 weeks long. So we're comparing Raisin in the Sun and Romeo and Juliet in this unit. And let's just look at the first lesson. What is drama? Oh, that's interesting. So it's showing different stage setups. That's really cool. So what does it say? It's talking about the different types of stages. And then your homework is to write a paragraph about a stage production that you've seen. And then you can watch clips from the activity. Oh, it gives you clips to different dramas, and then you can say what kind of stage it is. That's cool. Okay. Now how to read a drama. Okay, so I'm assuming it's giving you a link to this. Yeah, okay. So that is the Moving Beyond the Page high school language arts that we got, and I'm looking forward to using this next year for my 10th grader. We haven't used a high school level before for Moving Beyond the Page, but we have used middle school and elementary school, so I am familiar with the format. And again, the main reason I got this was because of the particular literature that's included, because I thought that it was very comprehensive and varied, and I thought that it would be interesting to my particular student, and I thought that the nature of the assignments would be interesting for her. So that is the Moving Beyond the Page High School Language Arts, and thanks for watching and looking through this with me.